The if function is Excel's brain. It makes decisions based on conditions you define. But most people stop at the basic if and never learn the more powerful variations. In this video, I'll take you from simple if to nested IFs, the newer IFS function, and the often overlooked switch function. By the end, you'll know exactly which one to use for any scenario. The if function has three parts: the logical test, the value if true, and the value if false. For example, if a 1 is greater than 100, return the word pass, otherwise return fail. That's it. The logical test can use any comparison operator: equals, not equals, greater than, less than, or combinations using and or. The true and false values can be text, numbers, other formulas, or even blank. Here's a grade sheet with student scores. I want to label each score as pass or fail, where 60 is the passing mark. I type equals if, open parenthesis, B2 greater than or equal to 60, comma, pass in quotes, comma, fail in quotes, close parenthesis. Hit enter, and the first student shows pass. I drag the formula down, and every student gets their label instantly. But what if you need more than two outcomes? That's where nested IFs come in. You put another if inside the false argument of the first if. For letter grades, you might write, if score is 90 or above, return A. Otherwise, if score is 80 or above, return B. Otherwise, if score is 70 or above, return C, and so on. You can nest up to 64 IFs, but anything beyond 3 or 4 becomes unreadable. Let me convert those pass-fail labels into letter grades using nested IFs. I type if B2 is greater than or equal to 90, A. Then if B2 is greater than or equal to 80, B. Then if B2 is greater than or equal to 70, C. Then if B2 is greater than or equal to 60, D. Otherwise, F. It works, but look at that formula. It's long and hard to debug. That's where IFS comes in. IFS was introduced to solve the nested if readability problem. Instead of nesting, you list condition result pairs in sequence. IFS checks each condition in order and returns the result for the first true condition. The syntax is cleaner. IFS, condition 1, result 1, condition 2, result 2, and so on. There's no default false value, so always add a true condition at the end as your fallback. Same great example, now with IFS. I type equals IFS, B2 greater than or equal to 90, comma, A, B2 greater than or equal to 80, comma, B, and so on down to true, comma, F at the end. Same result, but the formula is flat instead of nested. Much easier to read, much easier to add new conditions later. If you have Microsoft 365 or Excel 2021, always use IFS over nested IFs. Switch is different from if and IFS because it tests for exact matches, not conditions. It's perfect when you have a set of specific values and want to map each one to a result. For example, mapping department codes to department names or status numbers to status labels. The syntax is switch, value to test, match 1, result 1, match 2, result 2, with an optional default at the end. I have a column with department codes: HR, FIN, MKT, ENG. I want to display full names. With switch, I type equals switch A2, HR, comma, human resources, FIN, comma, finance, MKT, comma, marketing, ENG, comma, engineering, and unknown as the default. Clean, readable, and much faster than writing 4 nested IFs, checking for equality. Switch is underused and deserves more attention. Studies on spreadsheet errors show that nested if formulas are 4 times more likely to contain mistakes than flat alternatives like IFS. The deeper you nest, the easier it is to misplace a parenthesis or put conditions in the wrong order. Using IFS and switch doesn't just make your formulas more readable, it makes them more reliable. Now you know if, nested IFs, IFS, and switch, and when to use each one. Download the practice file in the description and try converting nested IFs to IFS yourself. Subscribe for more Excel tutorials that actually make you faster at work.